This right here is the gear motor. It might look simple, but it has a big impact of how things move. These little guys are built for low speed and high torque, and they come in tons of different shapes and speeds. Unlike the other motors, the gear motor ships completely by itself. It does not include other accessories, not even wires. The official name for this model is GA12 and 20. There are 4 main components in a gear motor, and we don't need to disassemble them to understand how they work. At the bottom there are 2 metal pins to plug the power. Then we have a DC motor that spins at high RPM. This gearbox is what slows the rotation down, increasing torque. And finally at the top there's the output, a D-shaft. So we now know what a gear motor is and how it works, so at this point we can test one of them. This one needs 6 volts and spins at 100 RPM, short for revolutions per minute. And to test it, just attach the positive and negative leads to a power supply, set the proper voltage, and there you go, a working gear motor. It's pretty cool to see all of the gears in motion. By the way, if you lower the voltage, the speed will still also drop, which looks like an easy way to control the speed, but don't do that. I will show you the proper way in a minute. Here's another gear motor. It also works at 6 volts, but this one spins at 500 RPM. Using the 6 volts 100 RPM motor will be much stronger than using the 500 RPM. The faster it spins, the lower torque it has. Now remember I said the name was GA12 and 20? Well, that is the name of the model, and there are many different versions inside the same model. For instance, all of these have different specs, and all of them GA12 and 20. There is one way to set them apart just by looking at them, but that doesn't always work. If they have the same voltage but different RPM, the change will be the size of the gears in the gearbox. But when the difference is only in the voltage, the change is inside the motor. All of this is to say, don't mix them together, or it will be difficult to identify which is which. At this point you could say, well, you plug them, you turn it on, they spin, that's it, right? No, there's a lot more you can do with them. Now I'm going to show you how to add some control with an Arduino Nano. First, let's hook up one of them and move from there. This Arduino requires 7 to 10 volts to work, and it has an output that provides 5 volts, which can make the gear motor work, but this output is better for things that barely use any current. A MOSFET is something we can use to bridge the gap between the Arduino and the gear motor. And through it, the Arduino can open and close the flow of current from the 6 volts from the power supply to the gear motor. I'm not going to get into the electronics because that is not the point of the video, but there is something I do need to say. Every time you work with DC motors, add a flyback diode connected this way. This helps protect the electronics from voltage spikes which are created by the motor. After I had all the wires and components ready, I wrote a quick code, uploaded it to the Arduino, and now the motor spins for 1 second and stops for 1 second. As little as this motor looks, a gear motor plus a setup similar to this is what I used to make all of these spikes on my Doom Shield, except I used a button to activate it. And turned out pretty cool. But now let's change the speed. With the same electronics but a new code, I can make it go fast and slow. Now the MOSFET is acting like a switch that turns the motor on and off super fast using PMW signals. Make sure you are using a PMW capable pin in order to do this. This is easier to see with an oscilloscope. By changing how long it stays at 6 volts, which is the upper side, versus 0 volts, which is the bottom side, you can control the motor speed. Now, how about direction? Fortunately, a neat little chip was created exactly for this purpose, the L293D. It allows you to control up to 2 motors, their direction, as well as their speed independent to one another. It already has flyback diodes included, so you don't need to add them externally, although the motors still need to be supplied by an external power source through the chip with their respective voltage. The L293D uses very little current and needs 5 volts to be activated, so the Arduino output voltage can be used to feed this chip. This is what I use for the eyes of Herbie. Here is the Arduino, the L293D, and the 2 gear motors. Let's talk about pros and cons. Pros: simple wiring, positive and negative, high torque in a very small package, and reliable plus easy to replace. Cons: no position feedback, meaning you can't tell in which angle the output shaft is, at least not without any sensors. You can only control the on and off state with the Arduino. For more control, you need a MOSFET or an H-bridge. Finally, no attachment strategy, meaning there are no holes for screws like in the servo motor. Here are 2 extra tips. If you use a gear motor that needs more voltage or current that the L293D can supply, you can upgrade to the L298N. This is a chunkier version, but it's worth checking out. And if you need to measure position or speed, you can always attach an encoder to the shaft. So that's the gear motor, simple, strong, and incredibly useful. Hope this video inspired you to try them out. If you like this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe for more introduction videos to components like this. See you next time.